everyone. Welcome back to Real English Talk. I'm Anna, and I'm here with my good friend Jake. Hey, Jake, how are you today?
I'm great, Anna. I just came back from the supermarket, actually. My fridge was totally empty.
Perfect timing, because today we're talking about grocery shopping. One of those everyday things we all do but rarely talk about.
Yeah, and it's something that's really useful for English learners, too. You can practice so many words, fruits, vegetables, prices, packaging, even small talk with a cashier.
Exactly. And it's part of real life. Everyone needs to buy food, right? Whether you live alone, with friends, or with family. Before we start, if you enjoy practicing English with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with a friend who also wants to learn natural, everyday English. And tell us in the comments, do you write a shopping list before you go to the store, or do you just go and pick things randomly?
I used to go without a list all the time, but then I always forgot something important, like milk or bread.
Oh, I do that too. I'll go out to buy eggs and come home with snacks instead.
Classic problem. Maybe today we'll figure out how to shop smarter and speak better English at the same time.
Sounds like a good plan. All right, let's get started. So Jake, when you go grocery shopping, how do you plan? Do you just go when you run out of food, or do you have a routine?
I try to go once a week, usually on Sunday morning. That's my shopping day. I checked what's missing in my kitchen first. Open the fridge, look at the shelves, and think, okay, no milk, no rice, time to go.
I do the same thing. I call it a kitchen check. It's like taking attendance. Bread, present, butter, missing.
That's a good way to put it. Actually, that's a useful phrase for our listeners. Check what's missing means to look around and see what you don't have. It's really common in English.
Right. And another phrase I use is run out of. Like, I ran out of eggs, or we're running out of toilet paper. It's simple and super useful for everyday English.
Totally. So, when you do your kitchen check, do you write things down immediately?
Yes, I usually keep a small notepad on the fridge. Every time I notice something's almost finished, I just write it there. Then, when it's shopping day, my list is already ready.
That's smart. I always tell myself I'll remember, and then I never do.
That's why you end up buying cookies instead of toothpaste.
Guilty. But planning really helps save money and time, too. If you go without a plan, you walk around the store forever.
And sometimes you buy too much. Like, I once bought 5 packs of noodles because they were on sale. Then I got bored of eating noodles for a whole week.
Yeah, planning isn't just about what you need, but also what you actually want to eat.
Exactly. Okay, so next, let's talk about how to make a good shopping list and how not to forget things again. All right, let's talk about writing a shopping list. Jake, do you still write yours on paper or do you use your phone now?
I've moved to my phone. I use the Notes app. It's easier to add things anytime. Like if I'm cooking and I notice, oh, I'm almost out of olive oil, I just type it in right away.
Yeah, that's smart. I still use a small notebook, though. There's something satisfying about crossing things off with a pen.
True. That's a good feeling, like you've completed a mini mission.
Exactly. And sometimes I even draw little icons next to each item, like a banana for fruit or a bread loaf for bakery items. It's kind of fun.
You're turning your grocery list into art.
Maybe. But seriously, writing things down helps me remember what's important. For our listeners, here's a good phrase to know. Cross off means to mark something as done or completed. Like, I crossed off milk from my list.
And another useful one is check off. It's the same idea. Check off everything you've bought.
Speaking of forgetting things, didn't you once tell me a funny story about that?
Yeah, that was a disaster.
I went to the store to buy ingredients for spaghetti: pasta, tomatoes, garlic, and onions. I came home with snacks, soda, and ice cream, but no pasta.
So you had everything except the main ingredient.
Exactly. I had to go back again. Since then, I always double check my list before leaving the store.
That's another great phrase, double check. It means to check again to make sure something is correct. Like, I double checked my list before leaving the hotel.
I think that's the key to good shopping. Make a clear list and stick to it.
Totally. It saves time, money, and your energy.
And less stress, too. You don't walk around the supermarket thinking, what did I forget?
All right, so now that we've made our list, it's time to go shopping. Let's talk about what happens when we actually step inside the supermarket.
So we've got our shopping list ready. Time to hit the supermarket. Anna, what's the first thing you do when you walk in?
First, I grab a cart. Or if I'm only buying a few things, I take a basket. It's a small thing, but it helps a lot.
Yeah, that's true. For our listeners, a cart is the big one on wheels, and a basket is the small one you carry by hand. Simple but useful words.
Exactly. Then I usually clean the handle with a tissue or sanitizer. You never know who touched it before you.
You're careful. I just grab it and go. I start with the produce section, fruits and vegetables. The colors always make me happy.
Same here. It's like a rainbow of food. I also like to start there because it's healthy stuff. But then, as I move through the aisles, I slowly end up in the snack section.
That happens to everyone. 1 minute you're picking lettuce and 5 minutes later you're holding chips.
It's funny how supermarkets are designed. They always put snacks, sweets, or drinks where you'll see them last, just when you think you're done.
Yeah, they know we're weak, but I actually enjoy walking around and discovering new products.
Me too. And sometimes I compare items. For example, I'll look at 2 different brands of cereal and read the labels. It's a good English practice, learning words like ingredients, sugar, or fat.
Oh, that's a great tip. Reading labels is an easy way to learn food vocabulary naturally.
Do you ever notice how supermarkets in different countries feel so different?
Totally. When I visited Japan, everything was so clean, quiet, and perfectly arranged. In my country, it's louder. People talk more, and music is always playing.
I love that. Grocery shopping shows so much about culture, like what people eat, how they shop, and even how they greet each other.
Exactly. It's not just buying food, it's part of daily life and community. All right, next up, let's talk about the fun part, choosing your favorite foods and snacks.
So, Jake, what are your must-buy items when you go grocery shopping?
Oh, easy question, but a long answer. I always buy milk, eggs, rice, and bread. Those are the basics, but I always grab some snacks too.
Of course you do. What kind of snacks?
Usually chips or chocolate. I tell myself I'll just buy one, but I end up with 3.
I do the same with ice cream. I always think just one tub, but when I see all the flavors, I can't decide, so I buy 2.
Oh, that's how supermarkets get us. But hey, it's okay to treat yourself sometimes.
Definitely. For me, I try to balance my shopping cart, a little healthy, a little fun. I buy fruits like bananas, apples, and sometimes avocados. But I also love instant noodles.
Same. Quick and easy. For our listeners, here's a good phrase: must-buy items. It means things you always buy, things you can't skip.
Yeah, that's a great one. And another phrase I often use is stock up on. Like, I like to stock up on rice and pasta, which means I buy extra so I don't run out soon.
That's smart, especially when something's on sale. I usually stock up on coffee. I can't live without it.
Oh, I get that. Coffee is like magic fuel. I once forgot to buy coffee and the next morning was a disaster.
Same here. It's like my brain doesn't start working without it.
You know, sometimes grocery shopping makes me think about my eating habits. When I see what's in my cart, it's like a mirror of my lifestyle.
Yeah, totally. If your cart is full of fruits and veggies, you feel proud. If it's all cookies and chips, you're like, oops.
Exactly. But it's all about balance. Food is comfort, but it's also energy.
Well said. All right, so we've picked our favorite foods and snacks, but there's one thing we haven't talked about yet: the price. Let's see how we can shop smart and save some money.
Okay, Anna, let's talk about the tricky part: prices and budgets. Do you plan how much to spend before you go shopping?
I tried to. I usually set a limit like, I'll only spend $40 today. But honestly, I don't always follow it.
Yeah, same here. I start strong, but then I see something new, like fancy cheese or a dessert, and boom, I go over budget.
That's so relatable. For our listeners, go over budget means you spend more money than you planned.
I've learned a few tricks though. First, I check online deals before I go. Sometimes supermarkets post weekly discounts on their websites.
Oh, that's clever. I usually look for signs in the store. You know, those yellow sale or buy one get one free labels.
Exactly. And here's a phrase I like: compare prices. For example, I always compare prices before choosing which rights to buy. It's super common.
Definitely. I also check the price per weight, like per kilogram or per liter. Sometimes a big box looks cheaper, but it's actually not.
True. And I never go shopping when I'm hungry.
Oh, yes. That's a dangerous mistake. When you're hungry, everything looks delicious.
I once spent almost double my budget because I went shopping after skipping lunch. I came home with 5 kinds of snacks and no vegetables.
That's such a real life story. Hunger shopping is a trap.
Another tip is to bring cash instead of using a card. When you use cash, you can see how much you're spending.
That's a good one. I use my card, but I always check the receipt later. That's another phrase to learn. Check the receipt means look carefully at what you paid for.
Right, sometimes prices are entered wrong or discounts don't show up. It's good to check.
So, planning your budget, comparing prices, and avoiding hunger, that's the smart way to shop.
Totally. And if you ever can't find something or want to check a price, you can just ask the store staff. Maybe we should talk about that next?
Perfect idea. Let's go over some simple English phrases you can use to ask for help in the store. Okay, so picture this. You're in the supermarket and you can't find something on your list. What do you do?
If I'm brave, I ask someone who works there.
Brave? It's not that scary. But yeah, for English learners, that moment can feel a little awkward. So let's practice some simple, natural phrases you can use.
Great idea. What's one you usually say?
I'd say, "Excuse me, where can I find the bread?" Or, "Excuse me, do you know where the milk is?"
Yeah, that's perfect. Short, polite, and easy to remember. Another one could be, is this on sale? If you want to check a price.
Oh, yes, that's a good one. And if you can't reach something, you can say, "Could you help me get that from the top shelf?"
I actually said that last week. The peanut butter was too high.
I can imagine. For our listeners, a great word to remember here is shelf. It means the flat board where products are placed.
You can also ask, do you have any more of this? If something is out of stock. That phrase, out of stock, means the store has run out of that item.
Right. And sometimes I ask, "What time do you close?" Or, "Can I pay here?" Those are common when you're near the checkout.
One time I got lost in a big supermarket in another city. I wanted to find rice, but the store was huge and had no signs in English. So I just held up my phone with a picture of rice and said, "This, please?"
I can imagine. And it worked, right?
It did. The staff smiled and took me straight to the rice section. That moment reminded me, people are usually kind and happy to help, even if your English isn't perfect.
That's such a nice reminder. Using English is about connection, not perfection.
Exactly. So, we've found everything we need with some help. Now it's time for the final step, checking out and paying.
All right, the checkout line, the final boss of every supermarket trip.
Yep, it's where small talk happens and sometimes chaos.
True, especially if the person in front of you forgot their wallet.
So let's walk through what happens at the checkout counter.
Okay, first, the cashier might say something like, "Hi, how are you?" Or, "Did you find everything okay?"
And even if you didn't, it's totally fine to smile and say, yes, thank you. Keep it simple.
Exactly. Or if you want to be honest, you can say, "Yes, but I couldn't find the soy sauce." Sometimes they'll help you grab it.
Then comes the payment part. The cashier might ask cash or card.
Yeah, or "Would you like a bag?"
That one can be confusing if English isn't your first language. Some people think bag means big.
True. So for everyone listening, bag here means the plastic or paper bag to carry your groceries.
I usually say card, please, or I'll pay by card.
And if you're paying with your phone, you can say, "I'll use Apple Pay," or "I'll use my phone to pay."
Then the cashier might say insert your card or tap your card. That's the moment of truth.
Mm-hmm. When you hope your card doesn't get declined.
Exactly. That please go through prayer moment.
After you pay, they might say, "Would you like your receipt?" Or "Do you need a receipt?"
Right. Receipt means the little paper that shows what you bought and how much you paid.
And if you don't need it, you can say, "No, thank you." But if you do, say, "Yes, please."
You know what's fun? I like when the cashier says, have a great day. It always feels nice.
Same. I usually reply, "You too." It's such a simple exchange, but it leaves a positive feeling.
Yeah, it's like the friendly finish to your English shopping adventure.
Totally. And it's a good opportunity to practice natural rhythm and tone in English. Short, polite, positive sentences.
So let's summarize this checkout section quickly for our listeners. Cash or card? Answer, card, please. Would you like a bag? Answer, yes, please, or no, thank you. Do you need a receipt? Answer, no, thanks. Have a great day. Answer, you too.
Perfect. That's your real life English right there.
So we've made it, we shopped, we paid, and we survived. What's next, Anna?
Next up, what happens after you get home? Putting everything away, realizing you forgot something, and eating snacks. So we've made it home from the supermarket. Groceries everywhere, bags on the floor. What's the first thing you do, Jake?
Honestly, I go straight for the snacks.
I knew it. You don't even put anything away first?
Sometimes I do, but if I bought chips, I'll open them before I'm packing. It's like a little reward for surviving the supermarket.
Fair enough. But let's walk through some common English phrases for this part of the routine, unpacking groceries.
Right. You can say, I'm putting the groceries away. That means you're organizing your food and other things into the fridge, cupboards, or pantry.
Exactly. Fridge is short for refrigerator. Cupboard is where you keep dry foods like cereal or pasta. And pantry is like a small storage room for food.
Good vocabulary there. I usually say, I'll put the frozen food in the freezer, or I'll put the milk in the fridge.
Nice. And don't forget, check the expiration date. That's when the food will go bad.
Oh, yes, I once bought yogurt, and when I got home, I realized it had expired 2 days ago.
Ugh, that's the worst. So, listeners, expiration date is important to check before buying.
Definitely. Now, sometimes I say I'll organize the fridge, which means I'll clean or arrange things neatly.
That's a good phrase. And you might also say, "I'll throw away the old stuff," or "I'll clean the counter."
Right. Throw away or toss out means to put something in the trash.
Once everything's in place, I usually make a cup of tea and relax. It feels so satisfying to see a full fridge.
Totally agree. That's one of life's small joys. And it's a great way to review vocabulary because now you can point and say, this is bread, that's yogurt, these are vegetables.
That's actually a great study method. Labeling items in your kitchen in English helps you remember faster.
Yeah, you can even practice sentences like, I'm making a sandwich with ham and cheese, or I need to buy more eggs.
It turns your daily routine into a language lesson. Effortless learning.
I love that. And here's a fun one. After putting everything away, I often realize I forgot something.
Every time, there's always that one thing.
Usually it's something important like toilet paper or onions.
Same. That's when I write it down immediately. You can say, I'll add it to my shopping list for next time.
Exactly. Or I forgot to buy. That's a super useful pattern. I forgot to buy milk. I forgot to get bread.
So now everything's done. We've shopped, unpacked, and relaxed. But before we wrap up, let's do one more mini challenge for our listeners.
All right, final part. Let's do a quick recap and a fun challenge for everyone listening.
Great idea. So today we talked all about grocery shopping, from writing your list to unpacking the bags at home.
Yeah, and we learned a lot of useful English along the way, like run out of, put away, expiration date, and shopping cart.
And don't forget, buy one, get one free. That's one of my favorites.
Me too. So here's a small speaking challenge for our listeners. Try to describe your next grocery trip in English. You can start like this. I'm going to the supermarket. I need to buy, and then list 5 things you usually get.
Nice. And after shopping, you can practice more sentences like, I'm putting the groceries away, or I forgot to buy milk.
Simple, natural, and really good for improving your speaking fluency.
And remember, you don't need to be perfect. Real English is about connection, not perfection.
That's right. Even small steps like saying apple, bread, or I need eggs make a big difference if you practice every day.
Totally. And grocery shopping is perfect for that because it's something everyone does regularly.
Before we close, Jake, I'm curious, what's one thing you always forget when you shop?
Oh, easy. I always forget dish soap. Every single time.
Classic. For me, it's garlic. I cook all the time, but somehow I never buy enough.
That's why we need our lists.
So, to all our listeners, thank you so much for joining us today on Real English Talk. We hope you had fun and learned some new words.
And next time you go shopping, try using some of the phrases from today's episode.
If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's learning English.
And tell us in the comments, do you write a shopping list or do you just go and see what looks good?
Thanks for listening, and remember, real English is about connection, not perfection. See you next time.